Hey, how's everybody doing? I hope everybody's doing real well today. Guys, you are in for a special treat today. We have a special guest on the channel. Everybody, this is my mom. Mom, this is everybody on the channel.
Hi, everybody.
So very excited to have mom on the channel today, guys. And we have mom on the channel, not just because we love her very much, but because she has some very, very great news. And so mom called me up the other day and she said that she has some amazing news, and it really was amazing. Mom, why don't you tell everybody what that news is?
Well, I've now lost 41 pounds. I'm very
Uh,
excited.
Congratulations, mom. Me too.
Thanks, Joe.
Very happy for you. And so, just a little backstory, guys. Me and mom started watching our weight together not too long ago. As you guys know, this channel has been around for, I'd say, about less than 6 months. And so, me and mom started watching our diets and trying to lose weight around the same time. So, I thought it would be beneficial for everybody to maybe we can interview mom today and ask how her journey's been, since you guys hear about my journey all the time. And I thought that this would be a good opportunity to get someone else's perspective on what they've been doing and see if there's any kind of like tips or tricks that we can look at and just kind of figure out the process from somebody else's perspective other than mine. So, okay, the first thing, mom, how old are you?
Oh boy. Well, I'm 65.
65. Okay.
Yes.
Awesome. Mom, there's a lot of people that watch this channel who are about your age. So I know that they're really going to benefit from what we're showing them today. So tell us, Mom, how long have you been trying to lose weight, and how much weight have you lost? Well, you mentioned how much weight you've lost. So how long have you been trying to lose weight so far? And again, maybe you can mention how much you've lost.
Right. Okay. Well, um, actually, to make a long story short, I've had problems. I've been dealing with weight for as long as I can remember in my life, since I was a kid. And it's been up and down. It went down when I was in my teens and I was more active, but I always had a struggle with it. And as I started getting older, and I became I started having mobility problems, and that's another story. But um, it prevented me from being as active as I had been. So that's when the weight gain started. Again, it's like it just came back on me again, and it never really went away for, I would say, since I was in my late 40s. I've been struggling again with weight, and yeah, so yeah, it's been a long haul.
Okay, gotcha. And so you've tried throughout the years. Have you tried to lose weight, or have you just kind of dealt with the fact that you were gaining weight and dealt with the mobility issues? How did that go?
Right. Well, I didn't immediately start trying, because you know what, you have to be in the right mental attitude. You have to be in the right state of mind in order to, really uh, do something and be effective with it. But eventually, I had started to get into that frame of mind, but I was looking for, because I was so tired of being the way I was, and really still I am. I'm still on that journey, but so I did try different things, and because we started working on eliminating meat and dairy from our diet and all of that. And I thought, okay, well, that's a very positive thing, and that helped to a certain extent.
And that was years ago. That was years
That
ago.
that was quite a few years ago, yeah. But since then, I had heard about fasting, and I had tried juice fasting,
Hmm.
and that worked. It did work. I even tried water fasting where I went on a water fast for 27 days and I had no food, just water.
Yeah.
And it
Wow.
really, those things worked, and actually they're very good. I'm really a supporter, like I support that sort of thing, but really not as much for losing weight, because based on the experience that I had,
Hmm.
it does cleanse your body. It does, help you to detox. And so it is good. But if you don't change your lifestyle and start eating, because once that fast is over, you get back into eating food. Gradually, you start eating food again. But what happens is if you don't really change your eating habits, you just get back into the old ways again and you start to put the weight back on. And that's what happened with me.
Right. Okay. Okay. Gotcha. So what you have been doing as of late, that has been, from what I understand, more sustainable than the other things that you've tried to do as far as losing weight, which you're saying now that you've experienced different things. Maybe those things are good for maybe a cleansing, a short cleanse, try to maybe reset your body.
Hmm.
But to have a sustainable way to lose weight would be what you've been doing now.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Hmm.
So I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, I was going to say that, of course, now I'm calorie counting.
Okay. That was going to be the question. What have you been doing? Right. Okay. Did you want to elaborate on the calorie counting, or is there anything to elaborate on?
Yeah, well, I started the calorie counting because Joe, you had started the calorie counting, and you were sending us texts and talking about your progress, and I was just so encouraged by what you were saying that you were doing and the progress you were making. I couldn't believe it, and you were eating food, which is something that I was lacking when I was doing. I mean, the weight that I'm at now and the amount that I lost, um, that took me 3 weeks to take off in a water fast. But
Mm,
now with this calorie counting, I'm back at that weight that I had with the water fast, except it took me from September 1st until now
mm.
in order to do it. But I'm eating food and I don't feel deprived. And uh, I feel like I'm learning portion control. I'm learning about food, about calories, and how that affects you. I never thought about calories, even though calories have always been on the back of on the labels of all the things that I've ever eaten. I never paid attention.
Right. Right.
I would eat peanut butter and I would eat thinking, oh, this is healthy.
Right. Me
I thought,
too.
oh, I'm eating a healthy diet. I was trying to watch what I was eating,
Right.
but it didn't occur to me how many calories are in the foods that I was eating.
Right.
And I'm wondering why am I not losing weight? Why am I still gaining weight? It didn't occur to me how, calories really, um, they really matter so much.
Right. Yeah. Even if you're eating what a lot of people refer to as eating clean or eating
Mm,
healthily, those things might cause you to be a little healthier or maybe a lot healthier, but it doesn't mean you'll lose weight. you could be,
exactly.
yeah, you could be eating the cleanest of food, the most organic things, the whole foods, no processed food, but yet you can still gain weight because those whole foods actually have a lot of calories in them.
Yes,
It's amazing. Amazing.
it is amazing.
Okay, well,
Yeah, it's like a revelation to me.
it's
It's given me a hope for the future, really.
wow, that's great, Mom. Yeah, because you mentioned that you went 27 days with no food, just water, and you lost a ton of weight. but you were obviously deprived. So once you started eating again, all that weight just came right back. And it was kind of like you had a reset and then you kind of just went back into that old mode. But this, what you've been doing, the calorie tracking, that has so far been very sustainable because you're not depriving yourself.
Yes,
Okay. So,
absolutely. Yeah, and my body, I think, was confused with the fasting.
right.
And then even though I tried to start eating slowly, start eating with watermelon and, working your way up to more solid foods, your body is like on a yo-yo. It's up and down. It doesn't know what it's doing, what's happening.
Right.
So I really find that now with this calorie tracking, I'm able to eat the foods that I enjoy, really enjoy what I'm eating, and I don't feel deprived.
Do, is there anything that I would ask you what types of things do you eat? But that could be a very elaborate type of a list, but getting into the fine details. Is there anything, Mom, that you have to avoid? Because I know with me personally, I don't have to avoid anything on my end, but we're both different. So I don't avoid anything. If I want to eat something, I can eat it. It just has to do with that portion control.
Yeah,
And I personally like to focus on the low calorie, high density food for the most part so that I'm full while I'm losing weight. So is there anything that you uh, have to avoid? Is there anything that you have to cut out of your diet because you just have to do that? Something that maybe you're missing.
right. Yeah. Well, I would say that I don't really, I'm not cutting out anything in particular. But when I look at foods and I decide, well, what am I going to have today? I decide, are those calories worth it? And it's like you're saying that, you want to, the whole idea is to feel satisfied. So I don't want to eat something that's high calorie, low density. I learned so much, just from watching your channel and from you talking with me about it. I'm serious. It really makes a lot of sense. And so basically, I'm doing everything that you have said on your channel. The
Okay.
kind of foods that I'm eating, and I've been having coffee because that really does help with my appetite. It kind of staves it off. And I've been like I'm not working out, which is something that I really need to implement in my life. I need to start, walking and doing things,
Okay.
because right now I have not really done much except for walking around the house, doing daily things, cooking, washing dishes, and doing the laundry and whatnot. But I find that I'm eating more vegetables. I am trying to eat more protein, and I drink a lot of water, and I have coffee, and the skinny pasta. I love that. That's
Yeah.
really great. I find that, because that's only for one package, it's 2 servings in one package, and that's 20 calories. And because I love pasta.
Right.
So it really allows me to, and it's really what you put on it that gives it the flavor.
Right.
Yeah. So, and I'm trying to avoid certain things, like even though I love peanut butter, but I do not really have to. Maybe once in a while, I may have peanut butter, but I'll have a tablespoon of peanut butter.
Wow. So you've really learned how to portion yourself and not only learn how to portion your food, but you've learned why you should portion it.
Hmm.
Okay, right.
And I'm making things like, for example, what you showed me how to do with the seitan steaks, with the wheat gluten,
Right.
and I make the seitan steaks, and I buy the Gardein products, like the burger, the veggie burgers, and all sorts of the Gardein is very good. I enjoy that.
Okay, awesome.
Hmm.
Yeah, that stuff really works for me too. Okay, so it has this journey that you've been on so far, you might have kind of touched on it, but very briefly, has this journey that you've been on so far been difficult? Let's not compare it to anything else that you've done in the past. Let's not do that because we know 27 days without food is going to be difficult. So
Yeah.
let's not compare that to that. But has what you've been doing now been difficult? And is there anything that you do not like about it?
Well, no, it hasn't been difficult for me. I find that uh, I've been intermittent fasting. Normally, when I wake up in the morning, I do not have anything to eat until around anywhere between 3 and 5 o'clock. I'll start to eat something.
Okay.
And in the meantime, I drink water. I have tea, and I don't add honey like I used to do. But I will use the Monk Zero,
Right.
0 calorie sweetener, and um, also I would say that I've been drinking those sodas, the Zevia, exactly. And I'm not really a soda drinker,
Right.
but I find that that really satisfies me. It fills me up with the carbonation.
Right.
So, but I space it out, like from between 3 and 5 in the afternoon until 7 to 8 o'clock at night. And then
Okay.
that's it. I'll have tea at night and I'll have a little dessert and
Okay.
that's it. And I feel satisfied and I'll drink water.
Okay. All right. So that's a little bit different than what I do. What I do is I actually recommend to people not to skip meals. It sounds like you kind of push for skip meals, which is good if it works for you. Um, that's that's what I'm getting. Is that correct?
Yeah. I mean,
Okay.
now that doesn't mean that it's a rule that I do it that way. If
Okay.
I feel like at 2 o'clock or at 1 o'clock, if I just have this urge that I just need to have something to eat,
Right.
I'm gonna do it,
You're not. Yeah. You're
If
not going to deprive yourself.
yes, no, I
Good.
don't do that.
Okay.
And
Good.
this way, when I do eat, it's when I feel like eating. But
Right.
the coffee really helps.
Okay. Good. Good. That is awesome to know. I'm glad you said that because the advice that I give is opposite. So this shows that there's other ways to do things other than what I recommend. And that's good because many people will feel the same way as you. And I have a feeling, because I used to intermittent fast, I have a feeling that the reason why you're able to, but I could be wrong, able to implement the intermittent fasting with what you're doing now with the calorie tracking is because you haven't gotten into any physical activity yet.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Because that's when I had to stop intermittent fasting because I started bodybuilding on the tonal, and then all of a sudden my body was unable to intermittent fast anymore. It was a sad day, but
No, but what you're doing is excellent, and I'm so impressed with it, Joe. I really am. I mean, I've known you all your life, and you're a new person. It's amazing what you've accomplished. I'm very impressed, and I'm very proud of you.
no.
Yeah.
Well,
But yeah, if I were working out every day the way you do, or even half of what you do, I would definitely need more calories earlier in the day.
okay, okay. So that's good to note. Wonderful. Okay, so it hasn't been too difficult. There's nothing that you don't really like about it. It seems like you've taken this idea of calorie tracking and made it your own, which is exactly what I think anybody should do. Take the principles and then implement them how they see fit. It sounds like you're having a very sustainable time with this. And okay, so we've discussed that you haven't implemented any type of exercise in. Um, do you plan on implementing any type of exercise, whether it be weight training, whether it be cardio? Do you plan on that? And if so, what type of working out do you plan on implementing?
Right. Well, I did get the activity tracker that you had recommended for me
Mm,
that goes on the wrist.
right.
And so I am going to be implementing more of walking
Okay.
to start with. That's what I plan on doing.
Okay.
Mhm. It's
Gotcha.
been, more recent, that I had gotten that activity tracker. So I'm going to start doing that. I had to make it, a goal to do that every day.
Right. Okay. Gotcha. So I just want to point out to everybody who's watching, Mom, you mentioned you lost 40 pounds, was it?
Yeah,
40
41
pounds.
pounds. I mean, it is fluctuating.
Right.
It'll go up a little bit, go down a little bit, but consistently I've seen, that 41 pounds.
Okay. So I just want to mention to everybody that's watching, Mom and I have been doing the same amount, pretty much the same thing. Listening to Mom talk, we've pretty much been doing the same thing, just calorie tracking and implementing some very light, moderate cardio. Now, I've implemented heavier cardio over the months have gone on, but if you look at the weight loss between myself and Mom, you've lost 41 pounds. I've lost about 60, and mine will fluctuate just a bit. Guys, I lost about 60 pounds doing almost zero cardio. Mom lost about 41 pounds with doing almost zero cardio. So just imagine what is going to happen once the cardio is implemented and once varying levels of the cardio is implemented. This was all done just simply by watching your food intake. So there's
Exactly.
a very real possibility that somebody might who can't exercise can get down to a very good weight without exercise. And that's wonderful because if you can't exercise, you still have a hope to lose weight.
Mm.
So that's really good. Or you could get down to a point where now you can lose weight doing some certain form of physical activity because many people can't at a certain point in their life because of their weight or physical ailments.
That is true. Yes.
All
Mhm.
right. So do you feel mentally, physically, and emotionally different than you did before?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Okay.
Physically, I feel lighter. I can feel the weight loss, and it allows me now to be on my feet more than I was before. I had problems which are actually starting to go away of having water retention in
Wow.
my legs and my ankles and my feet. That's going away.
Wow.
And that's before I lost that weight that I have so far. I used to need to recline a lot and keep my legs up, but I've been, more active now and without those, side effects of having the water retention. And even though I know I have a long way to go, I can already feel the difference. And that that physical improvement helps me mentally, emotionally. I feel like I have something that I can look forward to. I feel more encouraged by it. So, and I can use the stairs a lot better than I did before. So, yeah, there's a lot of benefit to what I've done so far, and I know that I can definitely, if I continue to do this, it's only going to be better and better. So I look forward to
Oh,
that.
well, I'm glad you said that because the next question that I have for you is, do you have any future goals? So have you set a goal in front of yourself and said, this is where I want to be, or have you not done that?
Well, I'm using an app on my phone. It's called Lose It,
Okay.
and it's a great app. In fact, I have a friend who recommended it to me. She lost 100 pounds with
Wow.
calorie counting. And she's the one who said, "Oh, I said, how did you do? I know you're calorie counting, but she says, well, I use this app, Lose It." So
Wow.
I've been using the app and it is so helpful. I really enjoy it. And they on the app, it asks you what is your goal. So actually, I plan on going down to 175.
Okay.
That is my goal right now, to go down. Right now, I'm at 222.
Okay.
So I have a ways to go, but once I get to the 175, then I plan on seeing how I'm feeling and then readjusting my goal. I may want to go down even further, but I just want to get to that point and rethink it and see, okay, what is my goal now?
Okay. That's awesome. That is awesome. Okay, so we're on the last couple of questions. What do you feel, if anything, what do you feel like maybe you can do better? Is there any obstacles that you find right now in what you've been doing that you can share with everyone? And if there are, what do you think you can do better as far as those obstacles maybe go? And if there aren't any, that's fine, because it looks like you've been doing this pretty effortlessly.
Well, the obstacle, if you want to call it that, is just getting into a mental attitude to be more active.
Okay.
It's a little bit hard, because of what's going on, with the COVID situation, and now with the weather, being the winter time. But I need to just start to have this mental attitude to get into a habit of moving around a lot more than necessary, because right now I do the necessary things.
Right.
But I need to incorporate more physical activity, even if it's just walking in the house, or maybe start walking up and down the steps, to try to burn more calories and, get the blood flowing, get my circulation going more.
Right. Okay. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. I'm trying to do that myself. Okay, so the last thing that I think that I'd like to touch on is, are there any tips or tricks that you haven't mentioned already? Because I know you mentioned some, like with the caffeine and the pushing your eating window, doing a little fasting to kind of push the eating window, which is great. Are there any other tips or tricks that you might, just thinking might help others, or do you feel like we pretty much covered it?
Well, I think you've already covered it as well in your own, in your videos. But I I I try to be mindful when I'm shopping of choosing products that have a lower calorie. Like for example, with bread, for
Okay.
example, to try to buy sliced bread that has a smaller amount of calories in each slice, things like that.
Okay.
And also, I used to, like, for example, when I would drink coffee in the past, I would like it to be light and sweet. So I would add more creamer. Now I'm satisfied with a tablespoon.
Mm,
And, I'm finding that it's just as good.
right.
It was just a habit, that I would want a certain lightness of the color,
Right.
of the coffee. But yeah, so I'm just trying to break out of my mental, habits and say, oh, this is not necessary anymore. I need to reevaluate what's important in my life.
Okay. Right. Oh, awesome. That is great. Making new habits. Exactly. Making new habits.
Mhm.
Do you feel, I know that I personally feel like it's less about motivation, although motivation is obviously a key factor in what you're doing, because you said getting into that mental mindset. Do you feel that it's a little less about motivation and more about building those new habits? Or do you feel like you've been motivated this entire time and that you don't really necessarily need the new habits as much as the motivation? I'm just curious. I know it might sound like a strange question, but in my thinking, I just want to see what your thoughts are on it.
Right. Well, I think it's a snowball effect. One thing affects the other. But I think in the very beginning, you need to have the motivation. You need to
Right.
have the desire to want to do it. Once you start to do it and you see that it's working, then that helps you to want to do more, and 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 then of course having others around you to be encouraging, like just having you, Joe, has really helped to encourage me so much. And I see what you're doing, and I say it is possible. I've seen other YouTube videos. I've seen before and after pictures of people who have lost weight, but somehow it just didn't hit me
Mm.
as much as it is when now I see you doing it. It
Oh.
really, it's really helped me so much, because you're real to me. I know you. So,
Right.
and I know, I mean, your history of your efforts, and I know that you've been working out all your life, but at the same time, now the progress that you're making is just like nothing I've ever seen before.
Thanks,
It's just
Mom. I
amazing.
appreciate it.
Yeah.
That means a lot. I appreciate the encouragement that that you give me, and I'm encouraged by you. I'm definitely encouraged by you, 100%.
Thanks, Joe.
All
Yeah,
right,
I could see that the tonal really is very effective.
man.
Very effective.
Mom, don't bring up the tonal. We'll be talking for another 4 hours.
Sorry.
Yeah, yeah. I was using it before we started speaking, and I was thinking, man, the only thing that was holding me back my entire life, that this is what I was thinking. I don't know how true it is, but I was thinking the only thing that held me back my entire life from achieving the level that I've been able to achieve now in the short amount of time that I have was the fact that I didn't have a full home gym in my living room. I've always had the weights, I've always had the equipment, but it never was the same. This is like
Mhm.
having a full gym. Look at me, Mom, you got me going now.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, I am a witness, I'm a witness of before and after, and I'm so impressed. And really what you have done is what got me started. And I just really appreciate that. And I don't want to look back, I
Right,
want to just keep going.
right,
Yeah. And I'm not, the weight does fluctuate up and down, like you were saying, because of certain foods that you may eat. Like if you have carbs, then your weight is going to go up a little bit, maybe by a few pounds.
right.
Even that Lose It app that I use tells you,
Oh, wow.
don't be discouraged. The app says you may even gain as much as 5 pounds, between 2 and 5 pounds throughout the week or so.
Right,
So, but not to be discouraged by that. And one thing that I tell myself is, because I haven't, if I think that I maybe feel bloated because of what I may have eaten the night before, I'm like afraid to get on the scale.
right,
But I said, no, I am not going to stop myself. I am going to get on that scale, because does it matter if I get on the scale or not? It is what it is.
right,
And it's temporary, because
right,
over a period of a week or two, it goes back down again.
right, right,
Yeah. So
right.
I don't want to be afraid to get on that scale. The
Good.
scale is really um, uh, uh, like your friend.
Right.
Your scale is your friend.
I agree, 100%. I definitely agree. Yeah, absolutely. I woke up this morning. I was 5 pounds heavier than yesterday.
Mhm.
I came home today from work. The 5 pounds was gone.
Wow, look at that.
So
Amazing.
It is. It's incredible what your body does. And the longer you're losing weight, the more weight you lose, the more interesting your body gets when it comes to fluctuation. But you just got to stick with the process, and that's it. Hopefully, we can all achieve our goals.
Exactly.
All right, Mom. Well, thank you so much for taking the time. And I love you, and I look forward to seeing you soon. And I'm very grateful that you took the time to lend to the viewers, because I do know that your experience is going to be very helpful to a lot of people.
Well, I love you too, and it's my pleasure. I'm very happy. If there's anything that I said that can be helpful to anyone, I hope that I could be helpful.
All right. Thanks, Mom. I love you. I'll talk to you later.
All right, Joe. Take care. Talk to you later.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.